I think so.
I think we are now.
Yes, we are. Hello, everybody.
What's up, everyone?
You're watching. Of course, this would malfunction at this point. You're watching. Talking about Piercing Live, episode number 33. Even.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, I'm good. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. I forgot to mute YouTube.
Gotcha.
Oh.
So I'm like hearing myself. I'm going, wow, is there a repeat? Anyway, tonight, a very special guest back again, Scott Wilkinson from Piercing with Scott. I got it right for once.
All right.
Yay. Yay, me. Yay. And of course, the Scott the Apprentice. And he also owns and operates Piercing Vegas in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
For those that don't know who I am, my name's DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer, have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing studio here in Des Moines, Iowa. And then over there is Scott, who's my apprentice.
I've been piercing since 2024. I'm getting there.
Yeah, give it some time. You know, you'll nail down.
It'll
some
creep
stuff.
up on you faster than you can imagine.
I know. Next thing you know, you're like, where did all this gray hair come from, and why are my ears getting bigger?
I wish mine would get bigger. I could pierce them, maybe.
Yeah, because I had forgotten that you had lost your lobes, haven't you?
I didn't necessarily lose them. I cut them off. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly where they went. So.
They went.
But yeah, I had my ears stretched up to like 2.5 inches, and it was a relief cut to go bigger. And one of my ears just completely went necrotic, and it was pretty much done for. It was done for after like 4 or 5 days. So we ended up chopping the earlobes off. I was like, they're just earlobes. And that's the reason why I probably have stretched nostrils now, because I want something, you know?
You needed something on both sides that was a little bigger than usual.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my ongoing joke whenever people were like, why'd you stretch your PA out so far? I'm like, so that when I'd show it to people, they'd say, oh my God, it's so big. Anyway, so we usually, how was your week, Scott? E. We'll start with Scott E.
Okay.
Oh, this is so confusing already.
I think it's going to be most tough for DaVo.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. We have had quite a few people in this week. It's been pretty solid. Nothing like extreme or out of the ordinary. Some earlobes, eyebrows, nostrils. Right before this, I actually did a jewelry change on a Christina, which was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, because she was getting like a kind of fun piece of jewelry in it because it was like already healed out. So yeah, it's been a pretty solid week. What about you, other Scott?
My week has been super, super chaotic, but it's been super fun. I just hired a new front counter person because my original front counter person got promoted to apprentice. Kelsey's going to be apprenticing Lola. So that's super, super exciting. But now we have that open spot in the front, so I had to fill that. So it was crazy. It's like the best viral post I've ever had, and the worst because we had to take it down. I said, hey, Piercing Vegas is hiring. I think we had like 21,000 likes in 4 hours and like 90 plus shares. And I just panicked because our inbox just filled up, which is the best problem in the world to have. But oh my God, you know, so I did all the interviews last week. I met some amazing, cool people. And I think I found the right person for the job. So I'm really happy.
That's awesome.
I don't think people really understand how important that is because they set the tone for the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. They walk through the door. That's the first person they see. And if you have someone who's crabby, mean, or has an attitude problem, that says that about your entire shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. And, you know, there's just some people that always be rubbed the wrong way no matter who you are. But, I mean, for the most part, I've dealt with situations with less than desirable front counter people that were rude to people. And it's just like, why?
Yeah.
I don't get it. My week was good. I did a lot of stuff. Were you done? I have a tendency to talk over people.
I do too. So yeah, I mean,
poor little,
I'm pretty
poor
much
little
done.
Scotty.
I was just like, that was my big thing this week, and I did, 2 days of piercings. I only pierce 2 days a week right now, just because I'm managing the shop and doing the jewelry orders. and all my other piercers are selling so much jewelry so fast. I just can't keep it on top of it. So that's all I do is jewelry orders, work, interviews, and stab people when I feel like it's a good day for it. So, yeah. What'd you do, DaVo?
Oh, I don't know. I did a little bit of everything this week. It's been a good variety week. Nothing really stands out. Some great people. A lot of first-timers, like young kids getting their first earlobe piercing, that kind of stuff.
It's most rewarding.
That's kind of fun to walk them through it and kind of, you know, I have like a series of questions I always ask them. And, you know, and just kind of seeing where they see the world going for them. And, you know, it's just always a good experience to deal with that. Except when they're really young, which I won't do. So
I really enjoy that. I really do. I'll pierce all the way down to 5 years old. We have a 24-hour consultation the day before because they're never going to say no to the piercer or when they're there. But once they're in the car, they're like, Mom, your daddy, I'm really scared. I don't want to do it. And it's like, it's their call. But once they're ready, if they're ready at that age, it's so much fun. It's stressful, but it's fun.
I've done younger, you know, like 7, 8, but I had a couple just terrible experiences with trying to do younger children, and then the parents are holding them down and bribing them with stuff, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do it. Yeah. So
I don't allow that to happen. But, you know, sometimes you have 16-year-old kids who aren't ready to get pierced. But I've also had 5-year-olds who are like the most professional, you know, adult I've ever met in my life. You know, it's insane the different levels of people that come through the door.
I've had 35-year-old adults like, wait. And it's like, no, you don't want me to wait anymore, because what that's going to end up doing is you're going to end up getting more worked up, and this experience is going to be worse. Right. Yeah. It's just better just to get it over. Yep, and the public chat isn't working again, but YouTube is. We got, I don't know, Notable Random gave us two of the devil horns. And Sarah Ward, what is it, Wardle? Said, hey,
Sarah, how are you doing?
Hey. My 2 favorite piercers.
Yay.
I'm glad to be in the company. That's always enjoyable.
Good to have you here, Sarah.
Yep. This is the part where we usually do the song of the week, and I didn't get around to. I usually try to dig up a press photo or something, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, you go ahead and go, Scott. Why don't you go first?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. The song of the week for me is going to be by a band called Corrosion of Conformity. And it's called Cleanse My Wounds. I can't remember off the top of my head which album this came off of, but it's probably one of their bigger hits. So if you ever listen to Spotify and that song, that would be one of the songs that comes up. It's a pretty awesome song because it's just like, it's almost like asking for help from like the gods, from the country, from whatever. And it's not there. And it's like, we can't help you. You dug your own hole, dig yourself back out. And it's a fix yourself kind of thing. But it's a really catchy song, and I just saw him live maybe 6-8 months ago. I wanted to see him for like 20 plus years. They're an awesome band. They were really cool. Really small venue. It's the way it should be.
Did you get to meet them? Because they're really nice.
I didn't get a chance. I
saw them on a festival, and I knew the person running it, so I was lucky. I got to go. I was hanging out backstage, and they just like randomly walked by. We were both on our way to the food catering. And sat there and chatted for a few minutes. And that was right after, I want to say one of them had some legal issues that needed to be straightened out, and then they got back together.
A rock star? Legal issues? Really?
Especially a band that came out of the punk rock hardcore scene and then turned metal. Yeah, no.
Surprise.
Surprise. But yeah, it was really great to see him. I hadn't seen him since like the mid-'80s. I saw them right when they were still doing kind of more of their punk rock hardcore stuff, and then it moved on to a more thrashy sound, more metal
stoner
sound.
Thrashy kind of style. And it's crazy because like they started out punk rock and they really tried going that, but they just weren't accepted and couldn't make it. And they said, let's just do the rock thing, and just bam, it just worked.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And they came out during that crossover period. Okay, Scotty E, tell us what you have made us listen to this week.
Oh my gosh, you are so mean to me.
Only when I feel like it.
The song this week I picked was Pink Triangle off of the Pinkerton album by Weezer. And I don't know if I've I've told you about this for sure, DaVo, but I listened to nothing but Weezer for 3 years straight.
It's a lot of Weezer.
Yeah.
A whole lot of Weezer.
Maybe that's
Way
what
too
your
much
nickname
Weezer.
should be, is Scotty Wheeze.
Scotty Wheeze. But no, this is actually the song that like really got me into Weezer, because I was like on the radar of like Buddy Holly and Island in the Sun and stuff like that, and then I found Pink Triangle and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. I need to dedicate the next 3 years of my life to this.
I don't know if I've ever said that about a band. I don't know if I have.
No, I mean, there are bands that I've probably dedicated a lot of finances to and a lot of time, but I don't know about a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them live?
Yes, I've seen them live twice, and then I'm going to see them live for a third time in September.
That's exciting. I've never seen them. They're on my list.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty fun. I saw them when they were doing the Decades tour, where they were playing 2 songs from each album. And that was amazing. It was super duper fun because they did 5 different stage changes, and it was great.
How long do they play?
I don't remember. I was just kind of
I'm one of those people, my feet are tired, I'm done. At about 45.
It was at the Armory in Minnesota that I saw them that time. I don't know. It was I think it would have been 2 hours, maybe 2.5.
Oof. It's a long show.
Yeah, that's a long show. That is definitely a long show. That's a long time to play.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's
It's
out of
weird.
character.
I don't know if I've ever seen a concert where it was the exact perfect timing. Because they get done and you're like, oh, I want more. But I've also gone to the, God, just finish this up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when I saw NoFX the last time, or it was either the second or the last time, because they played 2 nights in a row. Their famous song, which is 30 minutes long, Decline, was the last song they did. And it's I've been standing for almost 2.5 hours. I don't really care about this song anymore. Yeah, can I go home? Mine is a bit out of character, I guess, because people are surprised that I picked it. I picked The Humpty Dance by Digital Underground.
Okay.
I've had that song. I've had that song going through my head all week, and it's just one of those songs that just once it gets earwigged, you can't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing about that song is it was a total throwaway song. It was never supposed to be on that album. They didn't ever plan on releasing it. It was their biggest hit. And Digital Underground, Digital Underground was just one of those bands that did not fit the mold of what was going on at that time, and I don't think they get the cred that they should, personally.
It happens a lot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But anyway, if you want to check out any of these songs or the, I don't know how many we're up to at this point, songs, go check out, you can check it out on Spotify. There's a link in the description. There's also, there's a YouTube playlist that has all of these too. There was one other, Sarah said also, DaVo, is your stretch PA equivalent of buying a sports car? I don't think so. Because I had it stretched in my 20s, so. I've never had a
it wasn't
midlife.
the midlife thing. It's not when you're 40s or 50s when you buy the Corvette or something.
Yeah, and I've never had that period of my life. I don't know why. Never woke up one day. Yeah, it's just I guess I did something right.
Well, I think you need to grow up to be an adult to have the midlife crisis, and I've never reached that stage.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
So should we move on to shiny thing?
Please do.
Okay, we'll let you go first again because you're the guest.
You're the guest of honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
The piece of jewelry that I am showing off here today is by Ember Body Jewelry. This is a 14-karat gold piece with a rainbow moonstone, 4x6 gem on the inside, which is just beautiful. I love rainbow moonstone. And then it has a bunch of little round 1mm CZs and 2 marquee, one on the top and one on the bottom CZs. It's Ryan, who owns this company, used to be a piercer here in Las Vegas, and he just started making jewelry, and he recently, about a year ago, closed his shop down and has been doing this full time, and he's just been killing it. They had a huge booth at APP this year showing it off. They were super, super busy. He's a friend of mine. I'm super proud of him. And this piece we can't even keep in stock. It's not a small piece, but for a conch, it's entirely epic. It's a beautiful piece. And it just amazes me. It took us so long to get into the fine jewelry in the body piercing world.
Yeah.
You know, we had barbells and regular rings. And now we finally have stuff that's truly, truly artsy like this and just beautiful. And it pulls everybody in. So this is the piece that I have. I love Ember body jewelry.
I've been
Ashley.
Yeah, I've been looking at his site, and I think I actually sent through a request to. I think I already have an account with him. He has a lot of interesting tools too.
He does, like the little jewelry holders and the needle benders, the sizers. He's a really clever dude.
I've been thoroughly impressed with most of it. So, Scott E., are you ready?
Yes. Sorry, I accidentally opened the heat advisory warning.
I know, it's warm over here.
This week I picked a piece from Juniper, and it's a little dragon, and I think he's just so adorable and so cute. It's a 14 karat piece. And I don't know, I really like the idea of putting this in like a nostril. I think that would be really fun. Or honestly, in just like any kind of like helix piercing, maybe a flat. I think that would be really cool.
Do you happen to know how big it is?
I want to say it's about 2.5, 3 millimeter.
Yeah.
No, it's bigger than that. It's probably close to 4.
I bet it's 4 at least. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Dungeon's End.
That's very fancy. Holy
or
smokes.
Dragon, or wait, no, it's Dragon's End, as in Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. Yeah, it's a Juniper piece.
Juniper makes some really fun pieces.
Yep, and speaking of which, that's going to be my pick this week. Mine's a little more fancy. It's going to be that one.
Ooh.
This is, I believe it's pronounced Armistice. It's basically a 3 millimeter topaz surrounded by and flourished with gold and decorative gold and a bunch of 0.8 millimeter crystal or CZs.
Yeah.
And I think this looks great in nostrils.
Oh yeah, it does.
Conches.
A flat.
Yes, the flat. And one of the cool things I like about this is the angle. I think the diamond angle looks a lot cooler. Even like on a or a trachis, might be pushing it, but if you have the right size. And then finally, just a good old-fashioned centered ass lobe piercing.
We all went fancy and gold this week. I love it.
Yeah, we upped our game. It's kind of weird here because the gold stuff, it sells okay occasionally. Like we go through a period where we saw a lot of it, and then it's just like it just sits. I don't think it's really hit here yet, but I'd give it time. Got a few.
Well, I'm in a unique area, being in Las Vegas. I mean, people travel here with money with the intent on spending it. So I get surprised sometimes. People come in like, "Is that the biggest diamond you got?" And it's like, "Okay, I'll order bigger ones."
Yeah, and it's like my problem with that is occasionally when I'll do that, I'll order the stuff and I'll get a bunch of it in, and then I never see that person again. I don't know why, but it just seems like that. Anyway,
It does happen.
Yeah. We have a couple of chats here. Sarah Ward also said Scott, and then she has mail. When and why did why did the beard get shaved?
It's so ridiculous. It's because I'm an old man. I don't know what happened, but there was about a month straight where everywhere I went, I started getting senior discount. I didn't ask for it. I look at my receipt and go, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I'm 51 years old. I'm not a senior citizen yet." And it was driving me nuts. And I was like, well, I've never really been beardless, so let's see what happens. And I shaved it off, and everyone freaked out. I had some personal friends reintroducing themselves to me. I'm like, "Dude, it's me, Scott." And they're like, "What?" Yeah, and then some people are saying it takes good 20, 30 years off me, and I must look like I'm 16 years old now or something.
Well, and that's weird with me. When I shave, if I let my hair grow out just like even a half inch, and then shave it. They're like, "Oh, you look so much thinner and younger." It's like, no, I'm the same dude, just different hair.
I've been guilty of saying that to you when we're eating lunch. I'm like, you look younger. Have you been losing weight? What's been going on? And you're like, no, I just shaved my head after growing my hair out for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then TLC Mike said, DaVo and Scott in the same live stream. My phone can barely contain this much awesomeness. Why, thank
Glad
you.
you're here with us.
Newt Newt. Hello, Newt Newt. Whoa, glad I hopped on your stream. I didn't know we were collaborating. Well, we talked about it a while back, and then, he's been busy, I've been busy, so we always try to hold off until we know for sure. And then there was a bunch of technical issues.
It takes a couple weeks to get it to happen too. So yeah.
And I would I do plan on bringing more people on in the future. It's just it's one of many things.
We got this technology where it allows us to see and talk to each other like this, and
yes, it's
as
nice.
old guys, that's pretty awesome.
Yes, I know. We're living in the future. We just didn't.
Yes.
Newt also says, got my paired high nostrils done 2 days ago, and I can't scrunch my nose without it hurting. Still, LOL. My piercer doesn't do well with receiving or needle receiving tubes. I'm guessing what they're asking. So having a hemostat up my nose was a ride. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm guessing. That's one of those things. One of the videos I put out this week was piercing battles, because I've had people ask me like, which is better, freehand or with tools? And to be honest with you, it's a hybrid, and it's how the person's been trained and what works for them.
And the size of their hands. These sausages would not fit up your nose.
No. And your anatomy, because I know that you've ran across this, Scott, where you're doing an ear piercing on some very, very small girl or small person, and their ears are just tiny, and you're doing like a Dave piercing or a Rook piercing or even a conch piercing, and you just can't get your hands right in there without, and putting a tool in there would be impossible. And then there's people that they will pierce on one side, they'll use a needle receiving tube like a nostril, and then on the other side they clamp. It's just
whatever works as long as you get the best results and you're causing the least amount of pain to your client.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've never clamped nostrils, never saw the reason to. Maybe that's just me. I know people that do earlobes that way too.
I started out, but I didn't get trained in how to do nostrils, so I just clamped them, and it made sense to me. So I did that for the first year or two, and then I discovered receiving tubes for the nostrils. I think the only receiving tubes I started off with were super, super tiny ones, and my aim wasn't good enough to hit that with a nostril. So
that takes a lot. It takes a lot of practice, and even then, and that was one of the things I was explaining is like you learn how it helps with the alignment of the piercing if you really pay attention to the tube, because it gives you a better plane of. I don't know if I explained it well, but it gives that plane of knowing exactly where that should be, opposed to just having something random up there. But you can't do that with every piercing. Like a nostril, it's kind of got to be sideways. Have you tried the ones that are slanted? They have like a deeper cutout on the top. I think I got mine from Industrial Strength Needles.
Yeah. The one I use from them is called a Neo Metal tool. Neo tool, I think. And it basically has a little clamp where you can hold on to 2.5 millimeter disc, and it leaves hardly any edge. So when you slide for a high nostril, it allows it to put it in. Wow. Otherwise, most of the other, that tool is amazing. Next time you order, check one of them out. It's unbelievable. And then the other thing I like to use is like their bead holding pliers, where it's a little clamp and there's a bead. Sometimes I can hold on to a disc with that better than I can with normal flat hemostats. Are you talking about the flat hemostats that have the little holes in there?
No, what I'm talking about is like the needle receiving tubes that have a section cut out of them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I haven't used those yet.
Yeah, I guess I could look that up and share it, but I don't really. Yeah, and so every pierce, that's like what I've had people comment. It's like, my piercer did it wrong because they did it different from you, and it's like, no, they did it the way, how was the outcome? That's the first thing that always need to be asked, because everybody's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Newt felt much safer with her fingers up my nose. Ha ha ha. Was afraid of inhaling tools or the jewelry. Yeah, that's one that's up there.
It's way up there.
Yeah, I can't always get my finger up there. Even on myself.
For me.
Yeah.
Kelsey, my head piercer, doesn't use tools at all. She just uses her fingers, but she's got long, skinny fingers, and it just works.
And those big, big nails. I don't know how she does anything.
I don't know either. I don't know.
It's some kind of magical power. TLC Mike said...
She also does a piercing manicure where the first thumb and the pointer finger have a shorter nail. The rest are long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So with me, I tend to grow out my middle and my thumb to grip so that it's easier for me to grip threadless, especially disc-shaped stuff. But yeah, that's the closest I come to manicuring anything. TLC Mike said, usually between 4 and 2 gauge needle receiving tubes does it for me. Usually love to doing septums with the 2 and occasionally, or Bollinger. I think he says Bolster, but I guess I'm assuming those are the rounded forceps.
Yeah.
I, for years, have done them with corks. It's how I learned, and it's how I've always done them. The only thing is with the corks is you have to be very cautious that you're not distorting the tissue, or you're going to end up with something that's like this or like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Are you familiar with the telescoping needle method?
Which one's that?
Okay, so you have a 2-inch needle blank, and then you have a 3-inch needle. So the needle blank is a 14 gauge and a 3-inch 16 gauge needle. And you push the needle inside the needle blank, and you put a little lube on the inside so it holds still, and then you can kind of push and line up, and you feel exactly when you have that septum right. And then I use my pinky to push the needle, and it just goes straight through. So there's hardly any movement, and I never hit the cartilage anymore. It seems really awkward, but once I tried it, I threw away all my other tools and said I'm never doing septum another way again.
Yeah, with septums, I do receiving tube all day. Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about is nostrils. Yeah, I'll look into that. I'm cautious when it comes to new techniques because I want to learn what I want to dig into it a bit before I try it on customers.
Correct.
It's occasionally we'll have somebody that's like, "Yeah, let's experiment on me." That's not everybody, especially if you're paying good money to get something done.
Even if you're playing around with it, you'll realize right away, like, this makes a lot of sense. If you can do the push with your ring finger or your pinky, because you're not hitting anything, it's so smooth.
Okay.
It's almost a guarantee. So,
anyways, I mean, septums are by far one of the most. Every piercer I've ever talked to, one of the most frustrating piercings to do.
For sure, and everyone has good days and bad days too.
Yep, and days where it's like, no, we're taking that out and redoing it. Sorry. But anyway, and that, I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's septum is deviated a little bit. It's not perfectly straight.
Well, no one's face is straight, and that's what people see. Mm-hmm. It's like your upper lip could be this way, your lower lip's this way, your nose is at this angle, and it's like, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, and some people I'm not. So, yeah.
We were going to talk about old days stuff. I guess I've never. I know that I've heard the story about the trachis, and I had kind of a similar thing, but it was a girl at a record store who had a helix piercing in like '84. Wow! And it was the first time I'd ever seen anybody pierce anything other than a lobe. But I mean, before that, I don't know what my influence was, because before that, I wanted my nipples pierced. But with you said your first interaction was seeing a teacher with a trachis piercing,
correct?
And then your friend got his tongue pierced. So where does it go from there to where we are now?
Well, when my friend got his tongue pierced, within a week, I found myself getting my tongue pierced, and then within 6 months, I had like 6 or 7 piercings. And my piercer's just like, hey, I'm moving out of state, so if you want to get something done, you better get it now. And I was just like, well, can you just teach me to pierce myself? And he's like, sure, just show up tomorrow. Here, read these magazines, and or little catalogs, basically. And he goes, and bring somebody to get pierced tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I show up with my friend who wanted his nipple pierced, and he basically just said, I I've pierced you before. You know what you're doing. Go ahead and pierce them. I'll stop you if you do anything wrong. And that was pretty much my training.
And I think people don't really understand how much, even like me, where it was supposedly an apprenticeship, it was rushed through so quickly, and it was me traveling back and forth from Des Moines to Omaha, and the guy I apprenticed under really wasn't. He was okay for that time period, but he wasn't 100% on a lot of stuff. I mean, it took, there's a little bit of self-taught, I think, in every piercer, and just continuing education.
Was he a tattoo artist first and then a piercer?
Nope. He went the other way.
Interesting. Normally, you only find tattoo artists who do some piercings on the side.
Yep.
But yeah, I was going to college and started paying for college, so I just started doing it, dropped out and did it full time. I ended up going to the Gauntlet seminars. I did the Fakir Intensive seminars. Then I started learning about the APP conference, and I started doing that in 99, I think, 98 or 99, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, see, me, it was, so you started, when you trained, what ones, you said 94, right?
Yes, late 93, early 94. By 94, I just got my apprenticeship. But I mean, my apprenticeship was 3 or 4 days, and he hand wrote on a piece of paper, said, "You're a piercer." It's like, awesome, dude,
Yeah, I do the checkout method, which is, they have to do a certain number and supervise and et cetera when I go through my apprenticeship, which is what I learned from interviews and PFIQ, that's the way they did things at the Gauntlet, and it made a ton of sense, because before that it was just like, okay, I think you watched long enough. You have like 2 people that can come in tomorrow, and then you'll be working on your own for the next 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation. It's just bam, here you go. Because we really didn't know. And when I took on apprentices, which 2 or 3 years later, started training a few people here and there, it never seemed like they made it all the way through, because I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do this to you. I'm not going to just throw you under the wagon and go, here you go, you have at it. I mean, Scott knows that. Scott E.
Yeah.
You awake down there?
Yeah, sorry, lots of cords on this side of the table.
See what I deal with every time?
It's different being on this side of the moon, if you will.
You should see the room I'm in. I'm surrounded by cameras and heavy-duty lights and cables all strung up to the ceiling and lights bolted into the ceiling. It's my master bedroom, which has never been a bedroom.
No, you look very illuminated, like, compared to DaVo and I, and, like, I have, like, 4 different lights in my face, so can't imagine
the
what it
lights
looks
I
like
got
over
are
there.
very, very heavy-duty. I have 2 of these giant Amaron 100Ds, I think, next to me, and they're both full blast. And I just found, like, the brighter you got for a light, the better your picture becomes. So I spent a lot of money on these lights. It's probably $1,000+ worth of light stuff up here.
Yeah, we have one of those. I never use it.
You should. It's absolutely awesome.
We have hanging LEDs in the room that she's in. Here, to be honest with you, I don't use anything other than overhead.
Really?
Yep. It's the look I was looking for when I started doing videos, and stuck with it. The only thing that changes is maybe the ISO and everything else. It was just, I wanted it as simple as possible. Part of it's the quality of the camera. And
it makes a difference.
I spent a crap load of money of that in lenses. Anyway, that's a lot of money.
So Scott, I was going to ask Scott, what is your first piercing you ever did? What was your first experience?
Like the one I ever got, or my first piercing I pierced?
Like, what was it? What was your biggest inspiration to becoming the piercer? Did you get pierced? Did you see a piercing?
It was actually seeing cheek piercings. I saw this picture of this girl with cheek piercings, and I just fell in love with the way that it looked. Because I already naturally had dimples, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to have something to accentuate that. And so it was the second piercing I ever got after a nostril piercing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. And how was that experience?
They didn't heal, and I had them for about 3 years. Because they were pierced, I can't really, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this for the camera.
They were okay, so if that's her cheek. They were pierced slightly upward and back.
Interesting. Okay, so kind
So,
of forward
like-
facing and up towards molars.
Yeah.
with 16 gauge.
Yeah.
Ow. Yeah, should have went bigger.
And so me and DaVo stretched it because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a 14 gauge, and it was not a 14 gauge, but the jewelry was already out. And I was like, I guess we're going to do it. Most painful piercing experience of my entire career. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Were you an apprentice by the time you stretched them?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. One of the things I was thinking about when she started was I don't know if I want her to have those piercings because they just didn't look healed. And I didn't want a bunch of people asking me to do them,
Yes. Yes.
which is generally what that would cause.
And there was a couple of people that asked if you did them, and then I kind of explained, like, no, I got them done at a very not reputable kind of place. They
How
pierced them.
how
Yeah,
old
they
were
pierced
you
when
when
I
you
was. Let me get there. Let me get there. They pierced them when I was 16 without my mom's permission.
Awesome. Real professionals.
Real professionals.
And if you ask them why they can legally do that, they say the age of consent in Iowa is 16. That's their whole logic behind it.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Is it really?
The age of consent to have, intercourse with somebody within an age range is, or sexual activity with, but
But wasn't that like within a year or two? It's not for any adult.
I think it's for 4. I think it's a maximum of 4 is what they generally try to do it. Like
I think it counts under the Romeo and Juliet law when it comes to, like, if someone's like 19 and 16, like, that kind of coupling, but
yeah, you can't be 22 and having sex with a 16-year-old. You're going to get in
That's
trouble.
crazy. That's crazy.
But-
I think that they get away with that. I bet if it went to court, it probably wouldn't hold up.
oh, probably not.
No.
No. And yeah, what kind of, and I don't even want to get into that. Legally in the United States, you can't enter into a contract until you're 18. So even them, her signing this consent form means nothing. The waiver means absolutely nothing. So I don't understand why parents don't sue, but that's me.
Even if you're emancipated,
You have to be emancipated.
and then you can sign legal documents.
Yes.
Yes.
And I have had clients that were emancipated, and I required them to bring in the court documents.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. And the only
I
other
think
way...
I've only seen 1 or 2 people in my 30 plus years of doing this. So pretty rare. Pretty rare.
Because it isn't easy
No.
to get emancipated. You really have to work it. You have to, and it's
Yeah.
expensive. You either have a lot of money to do it, or you have very bad parents. One of the two. Let's see. We'll go to a couple of comments here. Where was I? Sarah Ward said, I have a small nose, and changing the flat back of my nostril is infuriating. Yeah, it can be.
The easiest thing to do in a situation like that is to buy a pin taper, where it's like the 18 gauge taper or whatever, and has a pin. So when you actually, you take your jewelry all the way out, trying to feed it from the inside is impossible. But put that pin taper in backwards, jewelry plugs up and pulls it right out. And also what I was talking about earlier was that Neo tool. I actually sell that as a kit at my shop where you get an 18 gauge pin taper and that Neo tool for like $22 or $23. And it actually allows you to change that jewelry at home. It doesn't make it easy, but it makes it possible.
Yeah, and we've sold the pins, the guide pins in the past too.
Yeah.
And I've thought about having hemostats. It's just one of those things on that long. Well, you said now all you do is order jewelry. Yeah, it's on that list of I should get a ring.
I'll get there eventually. Yep. So DaVo, let me ask you this. Way back in the day, how much were you charging for piercings? Did you have pretty even prices?
The first place I worked at, I don't remember what the place I apprenticed at, what they charged. I can't even remember. I think it's like probably in that $35 to $45 range. When I started with Sherry at Creative Images, everything was $50. She just people. At that time, I want to say that it was $60 an hour to get tattooed by her.
Okay.
So she was one of those people that just liked even numbers. She didn't want to deal with having a bunch of change. And I think the way that worked is she kept all the jewelry profits, and then I think I paid her $10 a piercing.
Yeah.
So I was making $20, I think.
Which is great back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially when you consider we were the main three. I mean, that's the one thing that Chuck Hayes, the guy that I apprenticed under, hooked me up with, is he turned me on to HTC, he turned me on to Good Art, he turned me on to Toucan in Florida for the gold, and I just had, sadly, two of those businesses long gone. All three of those are long gone, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I think Good Art still exists, but they're just doing fine jewelry, and not doing body jewelry.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to Toucan. They were the first gold body jewelry company.
And they had some incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Nanimel was probably around at that point, but I think Barry was just making stuff for Gauntlet, and that was it. Because I remember the first catalogs I bought before I even did the apprenticeship was I sent away for Silver Anchor, which was East Coast somewhere.
Yep.
And then Dakota Steel.
Yes.
And Gauntlet. And Gauntlet, like for 18 gauge cat bead ring, 3/8 stainless steel with a hematite bead, was like, I think wholesale was like $950.
Wow.
It was ridiculous what they were charging. And Dakota Steel, I'll never forget, like we're talking 1993 or 92, and he was charging $1 a needle. Yeah. I did buy a pair of German Pennington forceps, a number of them, off of him, and I used them for years because they're German steel. Because before that, the only ones you could get were the large Pennington forceps that had that really broad gripping surface. Yeah. And the only way you could get into the naval was to spend the extra. I think they were like $30 a pair compared to the other ones, which were like $5 or $10, whatever they are now.
I paid 30 or 40 for my German Penningtons. They were just, but like the teeth on there, they're half the size. There's twice as many. It's a better grip, and it doesn't hurt as much. And when you open and close it, you can just tell it was precision. It wasn't like the wobbly Pakistani ones. And it's just like you could feel the dollar difference and the value difference there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know, how long did he run that company before it stopped? I don't remember it ever disappearing. Dakota Steel, it just vanished one day.
Well, Dakota Steel, I think they had a problem or some sort of a lawsuit with the Fakir, because on the front of the Dakota Steel package was Fakir suspending, and I think there was a little bit of like, who has the rights to this? Did he give him permission and then took him away? I don't know the full story, but I know there was some awkwardness, and I think it disappeared after that situation.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It really is.
Fuck her. Probably never gets in. I don't know how much money he ever made, but he should have been a billionaire. Him and Jim Ward.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, money can't always buy happiness. And if you've ever met Fakir back in the day, that dude was genuinely happy. He was fulfilled in life, and you're just around him, and you're like, he has what he wants. I don't think it would have mattered to him if he would have had $1 million.
Yeah, and I kind of relate to that. I mean, I'm just saying, if anybody had the dues that should have gotten paid, but there's that, and there's that old saying, the pioneers get the arrows and the settlers get the land. It's kind of one of those things. It was really sad to see what happened at Gauntlet. I remember watching it in real time, so to speak, and it's just like, yeah. Anyway, everybody's like, what are these people talking about?
And let me ask you this. Do you know if it was a Nanometal that was working for Gauntlet? I thought it was Neo Metal.
I always heard
Neo
that
Metal, the machine shop, or was it a Nanometal?
I always heard it was a Nanometal, but I don't know. The other thing I'd always heard, the rumor is that they weren't making their own jewelry anymore, and it was all coming from like 4 or 5 different suppliers towards the end especially. And then they were trying to go and build this big manufacturing plant in Mexico.
Okay. Well, I thought that's where neo-metal came from. It was all the guys left over from the Gauntlet. When they
Could
stopped
be.
doing it, they opened it up, and that's when they patented the threadless jewelry thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
and that's why we couldn't get threadless jewelry for the longest period of time, because everything was tied up in this patent thing.
Yeah. And then the Gauntlet sold the rights to the company to someone from Minnesota or something like that, called Gotham, or I don't remember. But anyways, there was kind of a fallout, and he almost lost rights to everything. But I think that's where Barry from Anatometal came in and bought the rights back and gave it to him.
Possibly.
Something cool like that. I mean, the community's pretty darn cool, where it backs each other up, and if we can help each other out, we do.
It's always
But it's
been
also,
kinda,
yeah.
we go,
Yeah.
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 It can be
and sometimes
very-
it goes the other way too. So yeah, you gotta be careful.
And I was, when I was talking to, me and Brent, one of the tattooers here, were talking about this the other day, and it's like, he was talking about, tattooing versus piercing, as far as like, being open with information and not being, like closed, and not. When I came into it, it was very open as far as information. If you wanted to know something, you could write the person directly, and they would generally respond back and give you the best answer they could. You could probably call them on the phone too. And I think that was partly because there was, and he's like, well, that was different in tattooing. I go, yeah, but it had already started to open up at that point. And I kind of put it to him. I'm like, most of the early piercing guys were like the ultimate fanboys. They just wanted to share it with anybody they could. Yeah, one of your lights might have overheat.
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. It's hot in here.
For those who don't know, his air conditioner's broken.
Yeah,
So
it broke
he's
last night in the middle of the night, so
he's
that was
getting-
really awesome.
extra duty tonight.
Got 3 fans on me, a little portable air Arctic cool thing blowing on me, and still sweating. But I'm here for you guys.
We're going to go through a few of these. Sarah Wardley, I have a small nose and change. Okay, we already did that one.
Yeah.
Also, I guess on that too is like, if you have problems getting it apart, I'll tell you, in a pinch, the dental floss trick works really well too.
Yes.
Jen's, I don't know, I'm just going to call it Jen. When it comes to spacing out piercings, does that only apply in single areas or totally? Like if I'm a back sleeper, can I do both ears at once, or is that considered 4? I'm a little confused.
Okay, so I consider every single piercing an individual piercing. A pair of piercings is 2 piercings. So if you got a total of 4, like 2 on each side, that's 4 piercings. And some people limit on the number of piercings. Some people say don't get both sides done at the same time. If you only sleep on your back and you're not rolling over, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I would do 4 lobes, but I wouldn't do necessarily 4 cartilage, just because lobes are some of the easier ones to heal if you take care of it properly.
And, it understands that's going to change your lifestyle. That's the biggest thing you need to know
100%.
getting out of
I'm
the
going to try to fix these lights real quick.
Okay, I have at it.
Yep.
I'll see if I can find another one of these here. She also goes on to love you both, by the way. Thank you.
Love you too.
Yes. 2001 TLC Mike. You guys both inspired me years ago to seek proper training, bloodborne pathogen certification, talking with RNs, and keeping up on industry standards. Yeah, and you'll continue to do that. I don't care how long you pierce, you're going to learn something new or go, hey, we should do this a little bit different. And there's always new information. There's no way around that. Newt said, might have to look into ordering a kit from Scott. Not a bad idea. I don't know. Is he back yet?
I don't sell things online, but you might
Yeah.
be able to find a piercer in your town who could order those things for you, because every piercer has access to tapers, pin tapers, and a lot of piercers buy most of their tools from industrial strength body jewelry. So it should be accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't send things out. I apologize.
I tried doing or looking into that at one point because I was getting so frustrated with people telling me that it was taking so long to order jewelry online, and it's just too much work. I don't have enough time for it. I sold records on eBay. I know exactly what it's going to entail, and I don't want to do it. DaVo and Scott Mail, do you agree on which piercings you won't do? And if so, which ones do you disagree on and why? I think the only things I won't do bridge piercings. That's one.
I'll do them.
Yeah, and that's a personal choice. I'll be the first to admit it. There are some male genital piercings that you were trained in and you do that I won't do because I don't feel comfortable like I was talking about earlier, I don't feel comfortable just going, oh yeah, I've never done that before. Let's try it out.
Yep.
I can't think of any other ones. You don't do smileys and all that, do you?
No, I used to, and I stopped doing them about a year and a half ago. Just nothing but problems. They look cute for a second, but for the damage you do for the rest of your life, it's just not worth it. And I don't want to be remembered as that. Oh, Scott's the one that messed up my teeth, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like I can prevent it from happening. I'm going to. So.
No, this one, Scott E wants to get her bridge done. She was
Ooh,
talking
do I?
about, you said you wanted to.
No, I was
That's what all
talking.
the cool kids are doing.
I was talking about how one of my friends wanted to, and then
Okay.
I gave the hypothetical about how I couldn't because I wear glasses because I'm legally blind.
Yeah.
Well, it really depends on where the foot of the glasses rest. Sometimes your anatomy allows for it. Sometimes it looks really cool with glasses. Sometimes they're completely hidden. So it depends on your glasses and how they rest and with your anatomy.
That's true.
Yeah. So, Dave,
maybe I
why
could,
don't you do bridges?
Okay, first off and foremost, when I first experienced them was people doing them incorrectly.
Yes.
And I saw not thousands, I saw every one of them that came through the door terrible. And it already had kind of this, I remember the Earl. Do you remember the guy Earl that had it first?
No, I don't know who actual Earl was. I've always wondered about that.
He was the guy that got it done and claimed that's where the name was supposed to be, kind of like the Medusa one. His was done with a ring. So a lot of people would come in, and they were initially, everybody was getting them done with rings and curved barbells and all this other garbage. And most of the people that were doing that piercing didn't really know what they were doing in the first place. But I quickly started to notice that if you didn't have the right anatomy or that placement was just off just a little bit this way or that way, it was going to always migrate on one side or the other. And it's one of those things where I was just like, I don't need to mess with this.
Sometimes they're trouble.
It's the same thing with like napes of the neck when those were popular. It's like, yeah, I know how to do that, but I'm not going to do that to somebody because I don't think you're going to be happy with it in the long run. And I always had like the same reason why I don't do single. I guess do you do single point? I don't think I've ever asked you.
I used to, but they're illegal down in Las Vegas, so my entire shop banned them.
Oh yeah, because dermals are illegal there.
Dermals are straight up illegal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean technically they're illegal everywhere, but yeah, because you're biopsying. There's no way around that. You're not.
Yeah, you can use a needle. I use a needle when I do.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if you're
I'm
using
not removing
a
any tissue, and you can do it so it's totally legal that way. But a lot of times, the definition of piercing is an entrance hole and an exit hole, and because it's the single point, that's where they ban them.
Okay.
Now, the problem I think where most people have issues is a lot of times people aren't informed of how hard and difficult they can be to remove, and how much they can scar, and how it is not a permanent piercing. Sometimes it's as little as like 4 to 6 months. Sometimes it's a couple years. The longest I've ever seen is like 10 or 11 years, which is insane.
I saw a lady that claimed she had hers for 14 years.
It's possible, yeah.
And it was.
But if you have one that long,
teardrop.
Don't start changing the top. You're just going to piss it off and cause it to reject out.
And you know how many times I get called a day or a week on? Do you guys sell? Change those? Do you sell them? And it's like I always explain to them. It's like, well, with the Wild West that is piercing, I don't know where that jewelry came from, so I probably don't have something that's going to match it.
It most of the time matches.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I have seen a 16 gauge dermal anchor come in before, and I've also had people come in with skin divers, which have like a point, like a round disc point, terrible design. And it's just confusing. So they're a pain in the butt to deal with. But I mean, I don't know. I think more people do them improperly and bury them in crooked and make them almost impossible to get out. And I think that's why they were banned in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, you had to have a doctor's note writing that they vouch for you, that you're competent enough to do this piercing, and then you give that to the city on the record, and then you can legally do it. Legally in Vegas, there's only three shops in all Las Vegas who had that doctor's note, and but all the other shops were doing them, and there's over 400 shops, and I'm pretty sure the hospitals were sick of cutting them out of people.
Yeah, because and I even had like a doctor call me up, or somebody in an ER, like, how do you get these damn things out? Because what they were doing is just taking a they don't know what it is that's underneath there. They were just taking a scalpel and digging in and trying to pry it out with like a pry bar kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever took one out, it was kind of almost the same thing, but once I learned how to do it, it's like, well, that's fairly easy. But the truth is there's just some of that jewelry that it just grips so well that there's no way of getting it out. And I've always made a point that if somebody calls me and asks me if I do them, if I have the time to, even if it's just on the phone, go, okay, here's why I don't do them. And this is the problems arising. And I go, and my thing is if you go to a studio and somebody doesn't go through all that with you, you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because
they don't understand what they're getting themselves into.
No. No.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but one of the fascinating things about piercings is you put a hole through somebody, your body is tricked into growing this tissue, and it's growing new you, but the person who has it, if they want to, they can have it for the rest of their life.
Correct.
And that's what I got into this to do, not do something that's temporary or is going to fall out. I have done play piercings in the past, but it's not usually, it's not my mainstay. It's not my passion.
Well, it's been one of my things I've always wondered about is like when you heal a piercing, you're healing that fistula, that tube of scar tissue with a single point anchor. Can your body completely encapsulate it in a fistula, or is it such a weird shape and it's just an open wound forever? When does it become safe? How does that heal compared to a normal piercing? And I've never gotten a solid answer on that one.
Yeah, and people think it's the same as like the stuff that Hawthorne was doing with the subdermals, and it isn't. Hayworth. Did I say Hawthorne?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Hawthorne, yeah.
Hayworth, yeah.
No, and it's not the same at all. It's not the same at all.
And you and these people do not have the level of expertise or access to medical equipment that he does.
Correct. It comes from a medical family. And then the other thing too, people don't realize is all those subdermals or transdermals where it comes through like the metal mohawks, most of those don't work. A lot of body modification artists stop doing those entirely just because they're constantly infected, constantly inflamed, and they never got them to really truly settle. Granted, there's going to be exceptions out there. Some people can heal anything up, but I know a lot of people just stop doing it.
I refer to that as the high tolerance people.
Yeah.
You could put a staple in them and they would still heal it.
Exactly.
They're just one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Is there anything you won't do, Scotty? You want to think on that? I put you on the spot, did I?
Well, I feel like I just got called on in class.
Okay, then yeah, I know. Ham with Charm said hi from Harmony.
That Harmony?
Yeah.
That's my editor, I think.
Okay, well, hello.
Is that the same Harmony?
I'm guessing, maybe. Welcome to the wonderful world of editing. I watched part of the stream you guys put up today that I think I commented on. Chris Eisman, or Elsman. Hello. I'm new to both channels, not new to piercing. You all are great, and thank you for putting out real information to everyone. We are very happy to do that.
Yes, we are.
That's the whole point of this, because we were talking about this earlier. There were people that came before us that they helped us out by giving us information. We're fanboys is basically what it comes down to.
It's time to give back to the community. Anything I can do, I always try to help. It's in our blood. It doesn't. I can't leave this. It's in my blood forever.
Yeah, it was a commitment. I've committed longer to this than anything else. Punk probably is close, but not the same way. Maynard Starship said, I've been waiting to change a high nostril flat back for years now. LOW or LOL. Yeah, hopefully it's not long. The other thing about high nostrils most people to notice is on some people, and most people, one side is more narrow, that passage, than the other side. And it kind of narrows up. So, like, that's why one side tends to be a little more...
Well, also super important to downsize to the right size jewelry for that one, because it's so easy just to hit that inner septum area, inner nasal area, and it gets irritated. And if it stays irritated, it's never going to heal. So I got the hiccups. After like maybe a month to 2 months is when you need to downsize to that shorter post. And as far as ever changing jewelry on your own for that one, it's almost impossible. Pretty rare anyone changes their own high nostrils. You almost have to go in to have it done. So.
Yeah, and do you guys charge the change? I don't.
I don't, unless you bring your own jewelry in. Like if you come into our shop and then you buy something from us, we're going to change it out for free for you. We do every single time. But if you come in with a bag full of jewelry, say, "Hey, change up my jewelry," I'm like, "Would you mind? Would you mind sterilizing this?" Yeah, I still have other bills to pay.
I bought this on eBay or Amazon the other day. Yeah, I've had a few of those over the years, and it's just like, no, I'm not even going to touch it. I don't know where it's been.
I tell that to people too, and it's like I'll show it to them. I'm like, look, they say this is titanium, but titanium doesn't come in that color. So that means it's either paint, and look at this gold. It's stamped 14K right in the middle of it, you know, and it's like, that's going to cause an irritation. I'm not going to put it in if it's going to cause problems. Good quality companies only sell to piercers. They don't sell to Amazon and eBay the same way.
There were a few that were trying to sell on there for a minute. I would run across it every once in a while. I know that, you know, there's a couple suppliers that sell on there.
There's a couple of them, but not too many of them, and it's hard to find. And I know a lot of the bigger ones, like Anatometal and so forth, used to do that, and then they pulled it all back. And it's like, you should. Don't just sell the random stuff to the consumer that way, you know? You got to give piercers a career. If we don't have money to make off of jewelry, we're going to go away, which would kill the industry.
Yeah. But there are times
to home
where...
piercings.
Because, like, I don't know about you, but you don't go as far into the comments as I do. You're not as obsessive as I am. But a lot of those comments are, you know, where do I buy jewelry online? And it's very limited, and it's buyer beware. And you're going to have to dig through that search result down to the bottom to find somebody that actually lists who manufactures it, where it came from, if you have access to the mill certificates. Because even some of the ones that are supposed to be a little bit more reputable, they have the good stuff and then they have the other stuff, because they don't want to miss out on the market of people that want to buy, you know, that's 14 years old and got their navel pierced or whatever and wants like 15 different types of jewelry to put in it daily. Yeah. You know, so anyway.
And then the other thing is there's a lot of influencers who get free jewelry from a lot of those cheaper companies. So like, oh, look at how great this is. Look at how pretty this is. And it's like, they're not talking about the quality of the metal, the polish, the materials. You know, there's a lot of factors involved. And keep in mind that people are paid to say they like this stuff.
Here's a good one. Sarah Ward said, are piercers the biggest babies when they get pierced? I only know one that is.
Really?
Yeah, Scotty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was editing a video earlier today, for my piercing journeys thing, and it was about my vertical labret, and it's been pierced twice now, and he got a little bit of a video of me getting it pierced the second time, and I'm just sitting there like complaining and whining the entire time.
She's complaining when I edited it down for content, but she was complaining when I was marking it. She was complaining when I clamped it. She was complaining when I lined up the needle. She was complaining. And usually the way I normally do them is I'll do it forceps, and then I'll set the needle safely on the other side, other lip. And she opened her mouth completely.
You know better.
So she's sitting there at this needle. I didn't put that footage in, with this needle, like, trying to keep it from hitting the top of her roof of her mouth. Yeah, it was, and then whined even after I got the jewelry in. So yeah, she is, and she'll bug you about it for days and days too.
Oh yeah, I'll bug DaVo to pierce me, and then I'll be a complete baby about it.
I personally absolutely love getting pierced. It's my happy place. I would rather be laying on the table, someone just stabbing me. I don't know. I've always been that way, and I've never had any issues getting pierced. I get butterflies, but I'm a rush junkie, and I love that feeling. So I mean. Yeah,
it's the adrenaline.
It really is. I mean, it doesn't. So yeah, I'm easy to pierce. I really am. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to say anything. I might say, give you a hard time, like, oh, you already started without me, huh, or something. But I mean, it's for the most part. I'm the easiest person in the world to pierce. Other than the fact when you're piercing another piercer, it's so intimidating. It's really, really scary, and a lot of piercers have a tough time doing that. So I can always tell when I have a piercer who works for me and I'm like, hey, I want to get my 6-gauge eyebrow pierced. And it's just like, you can see all the nervousness and it's like, like I'm asking for this. And if it's crooked, I don't care. We'll just do it again. I get pierced twice then, So, but that's me. But on the other hand, like I was just saying, a lot of piercers get stupid things. Like, hey, I wonder if you could do a 6-gauge eyebrow. And that's why a lot of piercers might have the big weenie kind of, syndrome. It's like, stop chickening out if you asked for it. But we do stupid things. Like, I used to have my mandible pierced. I don't condone it. I don't recommend it. But anyone who wouldn't be nervous for that is a fool, because it's a dangerous thing and you should be nervous for it. So, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I think most piercers are pretty crazy when it comes to getting pierced, and they like to get pierced, I think.
I don't like hilling them.
Yes.
So that's usually why I'm like, I'll wait. I'll get. And I think part of that was like in my early 20s, like when I got a majority of them done. And the same thing with the tattoos, just like, wow, like had like this 6-month break at one point and went, wow, I can do things and not worry about, what I'm coming in contact with, and all this other stuff. And I needed a break, and that break just kind of turned into like 5 or 6 years. And then it, it's just part of it. And I've always been like I don't like healing them.
When was your last piercing, DaVo?
A couple years ago, I got my conch done.
Cool.
I've been thinking
so you're about due again.
Yeah, I've been thinking about a hidden helix or a vertical conch, depending on who you want to talk to. Or not hidden helix, but a hidden rook.
Hidden rook, yeah.
Yeah. I always get those mixed up, I think. No, maybe not.
I remember you were calling it a faux rook for a little bit.
No, faux rook is an entirely different piercing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at, is you were calling it a faux rook, and so that's why I was like really nervous when you were like, oh, I've been thinking about getting a faux rook, and I'm like, not by me. You're not.
They're not that hard.
I'm just terrified to pierce you.
So
it hasn't happened yet.
A hidden rook would be like if you have the faux rook on top, and if you did the upper conch to hide it, that's where the hidden rook would be coming from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not many people do the upper and lower, kind of like you do the faux snug where you do a conch and a normal mid helix, and it looks like you're doing the snug. It's the same concept for the rook, but most people only do the top one.
Yeah, because it looks fine.
Yep.
And glasses. I don't know how to put that. Glasses.
You don't need to see anything. What do you need your eyes for?
Yeah, I've been wearing them since I was 2. I don't think I should start now, especially if I plan on continuing piercing. Hold on, you're kind of blurry. Let me see. That dot was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dot erased away. No, it's a really big one right here. You can't see it.
Nope.
Scary.
You don't do surface to surface either, do you? Because
Yes,
I know.
do.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I will do napes. I will do horizontal eyebrows, sideburns, occasionally a cleavage if they want in the right spot and we can find a spot that'll actually heal. I used to do wrist piercings. I don't really do those anymore.
And see, that's the thing I always tell people when they ask me about it. It's like, well, I don't do those. You need to find somebody that specializes in these and has done a lot of them and understands how they work and don't work. Don't just go to some guy that says, yeah, I'll do it. Because also they have to have the proper jewelry and invested in that. So they have to have invested the training and invested the actual jewelry. I've just never really had a desire to do them. I don't know why.
See, like for example, a Zephyr piercing. I did a video on a Zephyr piercing on my Piercing with Scott channel, and a Zephyr piercing is like an extremely deep dido piercing, which is like for a penis piercing, it's like the ridge of the head. It's like doing that little ridge. But imagine going deeper and coming out all the way to the tip of the penis, right next to the urethra. And it's just like, it exists. I saw a picture online once, and someone wanted me to do the video, so I gave my opinion on it. And then someone came in and says, "Hey, I want to get my Zephyrs done because you're the professional on it." And I'm like, "Oh, what did I do here?" So I did a lot of research, and I started calling everyone in the industry I could think of, like Elaine Angel, Luis Garcia, a couple of other people, and no one else has done it, and no one can answer my questions. And I'm like, this is too dangerous, because you got the cavernosum, which is the spongy tissue which causes the erection. It fills with blood. But when you do the scoop, how high up does it go? And I couldn't get an answer from anyone. So I was just like, yeah, it's not a safe thing. I can't get a solid answer. I'm not even, it's not worth doing. So I don't know. And it makes me wonder, is that Zephyr piercing I saw online, is it even real, or is that a Photoshop thing? So that's one of the ones I won't do. I've had requests for. There's not a lot of them. I won't do a Princess Albertina, Princess, or what is the other one? Anyways, yeah.
There's one where it goes and
there's
what is it called? Where it goes a PA and then further down. There's a term for that one too.
Oh, a dolphin.
A dolphin. That's
a dolphin where it's a frenum. So you have a large, and then you put the receiving tube in that existing hole and go further down. So you put a crazy curved barbell, so it looks like it's going in and out of the shaft.
No thanks.
No thanks. No
that
thanks.
And I would be concerned about blockage and all kinds of other things. That it just seems like a lot of health issues.
There's a change of distance there. How does the jewelry accommodate for that?
Yeah. And how do you wear that the rest of the time when you're flaccid?
Well, not comfortably, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are a couple of them. The thing about the bridge, let's go back to that for a second too, is like a lot of people are overzealous on the bridge, and they just think anyone can get it pierced. And you can actually get bone erosion on your skull, on the bridge of your nose. So that bar cannot be resting up against there. It needs to be free floating in the tissue. And if you don't have that, I turn people away. But so many people like, oh, you can lift the skin up, you can get it. Just because you can lift and get it up there doesn't mean you should be piercing.
And to a degree, it's the same way with eyebrow piercings. If there isn't meat there to go through, then no, we can't do it.
Correct.
It's rare that you have somebody that has that tight of tissue, but I've seen it. And it would just reject out, or it would damage. There's just one or the other. So it's just not worth the effort.
And then the other thing is I put that bridge in the 18 plus category.
Yeah.
Because it is going to leave a huge scar, and you're 16 years old. I don't want to have this huge scar in the middle of someone's face and be in my, you're not responsible enough to make the decision if you want that scar or not yet. So 18 plus on that one.
There was a kid in today and we did a set of lobes on. It's his first piercings, and he's like, and obviously mom has done the right thing. Said, yes, I'll let you get this done, when he's been probably asking about the snake bites. And so I sat down and I'm like, okay, well, here's the additional stuff that's going to take. And one of the things I always try to bring up with people is, and it can scar, and that scar can look open for a very, very long time. And that varies from person to person. And depending on your pigment, we don't really know until after you take them out and abandon them. I mean, Scotty, yours is pretty much faded.
Yeah, you can't really see them unless you're like really close to my face. And most of the scarring for my other piercings that I have, minus my cheek piercings because of that infection that I got in both of them, are pretty, like, you can't really tell. Yeah. Yep.
They've faded quite a bit. They're not as angry as they were when you insisted on keeping the jewelry on.
I noticed there was some migration on this one over some period of time because it's like a line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, I've had cheek skewers, but I've never actually had my cheeks pierced. But I've had 12 gauge rods through them so many times when doing suspensions and energy pulls and things like that. I love cheek skewers. I wouldn't want to heal up a cheek piercing though.
We actually had someone call in today about dahlias.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love dahlias.
Mm-hmm. We don't do them. I actually don't know why. I mean, like, I know they're very difficult to heal out, but
They're temperamental. It's just there's so much movement right in that spot. So
you're pulling and stretching on it, and if you're not far enough out of that beady cheek area, there's a few risks that are involved, and it's just one more thing that I'm just like, I don't want to deal with it. I mean, that's why we don't do it. I know it sounds lazy, but at the same time, it's just like there's got to be a point where you have to go, okay, these I know work. This is what I want to do. And, if you do find somebody that's willing to do it for you, here's some things that you need to know about that piercing, and just leave it at that. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's the same. I'm exactly that. I try not to discourage people. It's like, I just want to give you good information, just like this channel. That's the whole point of it. To find the person that's going to do it for you. I had an interesting conversation online with somebody that was going through an apprenticeship and was obviously struggling because I think they were waiting for this place to get set up so their mentor could actually train him. And one of these, they're like, I'm really struggling with how you tell the difference between anatomy and studying anatomy and all this. And I go, and I made a suggestion to her that I just kind of picked up on as soon as I started piercing or even thinking about getting pierced, is I told them, I'm like, you need to go out and, if you have a partner that's willing to let you touch them, explore their body. If you have a friend, explore their body. I remember going to strip clubs just for the purpose of just kind of sitting there and studying the female parts and
that
trying
was the
to figure.
Good excuse, brother.
I can't go to them now because they all know me.
I know, it's awkward.
Or, it's just, I get distracted too easily. And I know it's that artist eye we all have where it's like, yeah, she's really, oh no, that navel, who did that to that poor girl? And then I'm completely out of it.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a piercer's eyes. We are drawn right to crooked piercings or bad piercings right away. And we want to help, but it's tough sometimes because this person is so happy with their piercing and they don't realize it's crooked or something's wrong with it. And if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it, but we want the best possible thing for people. And do you say it or do you not say it sometimes? Sometimes I do.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, are you happy with it? Is that what you you okay with that? Because I've also had clients that, we've re-pierced their double nostrils in the same spot 4 times when it was perfectly fine the first time. And then I finally asked her, I go, we're just moving this like literally millimeters, if that. It looks exactly the same. Why do you keep coming back and saying that one's off? And she goes, well, I was at the food court the other day, and this lady just walked up to me and told me they were crooked. They weren't even. And I'm like, really? You came in here and maybe redo these because a complete stranger told you that something was wrong. And did they say they were an authority or anything? No, just random dude, random girl. And it's like, yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things. Always be something, right?
Always, always, always.
The
other tough part about being a piercer too is every piercer tells you different aftercare, different advice, different consultations, and it's like, who do you really trust, And as the consumer, if everyone says something different, it's like, it's so hard. Why would I listen to you if you're walking up like, trust me, I'm a piercer. I've been doing this forever. I'm like, yeah, that's what they all say,
Yeah. And it works. Why would I change it?
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
I think thanks to Neomed, it's kind of standardized it to a degree, I would hope. I don't really travel much outside my own little crook of, my own studio that much.
Yeah.
We talked about how when you were first starting out, you visited a lot of other studios, and I got, what? I stopped doing it. You know why?
Why?
Because I would go in and I'd, chat with them and everything seemed okay and everything, and then I'd start seeing things that bothered me, like not changing gloves. I think the last one I ever went into was a guy that was mainly a tattoo guy. He opened it up in kind of shady part of town at the time. And I walk into the studio and it's all carpeted.
Yep.
And they're eating dinner and it's pizza. and there's all these puppies in there, like 4 or 5 puppies. And he's petting the dog and doing all and eating pizza and tattooing this guy and wiping it off. And then he like peels off the gloves, sets them on the counter, goes, gets another pair of gloves, I don't know where at, and then started to pierce this person. Pulled a jewelry out of a tackle box, a needle out of a tackle box, dumped it in Kavkaside, rinsed it in a cup that God knows where that. And it's like, I can't stand this anymore. I can't go in there and not say anything. And I said something, and it turned into a huge shouting match. So you're just trying to ruin my business. It's like, I'm trying to help.
Yeah. I don't know. Like when I first started going to all these different shops, I'd walk through the door and just be immediately like, "Hey, who's your piercer here? I'm a piercer from another shop." And I would say it right away because otherwise people are like, "Who are you? You spying on us?" You know? And I was like, "Hey, no, I'm just trying to get more information, meet the piercers, and see what brands of jewelry you guys use. So if someone lost a bead, I might be able to send them here, or this is maybe our stuff's compatible. You could send them my way if that's the case." I said, "There's more than enough business for everyone, so let's try to work together." And sometimes that's some bad experiences in some shops. I'm like, I don't want to be affiliated with that shop. But luckily, because I was in the Twin Cities, there was a good handful of good people who really meant well. And I think I just got lucky and met some really people who had good intentions. And we used to get together for coffee and hang out and just talk shop. It was crazy. So I think I just got lucky and found the right group of friends, and I was in the right city. Because in that Minneapolis, St. Paul area, there was a lot of us who gathered fairly quick.
Yeah, see, Des Moines was a little different. We all hung out at the same live venue, and that was about the only interaction we had from shop to shop. When I first started, Sherry used to take us out. Like for the first 5 years, they had a bowling thing that they would do every month, and that was fun. But then that turned into another thing, and then people started complaining about other shops, and it's just like, I'm done with this. There's nothing positive about this anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a couple when Rec Art. Were you ever on Rec Art Body Art? I don't think.
No, I was familiar with it, but I was not ever a vlogger or typer or any of that. I did BME to kind of see pictures, but that was about it.
We did munches here a couple times, which were fun, and that was kind of better because it was more, a few artists and then people that collected and just people that were just interested. And and Rec Art Body Art at that time was a pretty nice community. I mean, you had your trolls like Keith Alexander, but the rest of them were all pretty nice and open. And even Keith, he would give out information when he was in the mood. But I mean, it was like, he would troll you if he thought you were, new or needed to be harassed. I was victim of that a few times. But I mean, for the most part, it was a very open thing, and then it just turned into a just troll heaven, and then it fell apart.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was
Good
a great.
Things like that can't ever last.
Nope. There's always somebody got to ruin it for you. Okay,
Yep.
so we should probably get through it. Woo, there's quite a few of these. Did you want to go through these, Scott?
I was like, I can't see anything over here.
Do you still have
Get
the
your
YouTube page open, or did you ever open one?
Me? No, I didn't.
I'm talking.
I
talking
did
to
not
her.
open it. I did not open it.
Okay,
There's the right. Wait, you gotta.
it's kind of a who's on or it's
on
like
first?
who's on
What's on
first,
second?
or a New Heart thing going on here. There's my
How
other
do you?
Well, when I first started piercing, I was at St. Sabrina's, and there was Jessica and Scott as piercers.
Yeah.
That just got confusing, so I just told everyone I'm Scott with a K, S-K-O-T. It's legally S-C-O-T-T, but that was easily, well, he was like kind of tall, had a lot of piercings and tattoos. I'm like, you described every piercer in the world, it's
Yeah.
Scott with a K.
See, I got the DaVo thing and started using it professional because when I went to Creative Images, she was like, well, there's already a Dave, there's already a David.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I just picked that up because I had that nickname from childhood. Do you know where we're at? I think where I'm at right now. I'll just do this last one. Maynard. What am I doing? Spaceship. Tender spot was his response there. Oh, before that they say they're definitely over 10 millimeter healed though. So I don't. Let's see if we can back page here and.
Comment, huh?
Yeah, he's talking about his high nostril flatbacks. So they're 10 millimeters long. That's pretty long for high nostrils.
Yeah, you probably need some shorter ones. Unless they're at a funky angle. If they're pointing straight down like that, they might have to be long, but you could probably go shorter. Are they sticking out? Because if they're sticking out, shorten them up.
Yeah, and especially, or if they're slamming into that bone, that denser tissue or cartilage on the septum, because that doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
And I've even supposedly saw somewhere where somebody had a hole like 8 into it through one of those.
It's possible, I imagine.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Did you figure out where we're at, or do you want me to continue, Scotty?
No, I figured it out.
Okay.
It said like Man also watching your channels. I'm wanting to get forward-facing nostrils done soon. So I imagine like mantis piercings, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just dyslexic, but
Most piercers I know are dyslexic.
I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was about 10 or 11 years old. So, and they said, yep, you got dyslexia. Okay, so how do we fix that? There's nothing we can do.
Just deal with it. Now you know.
Yeah. Now you have something to tell your teachers and they won't believe you. Because that's what it turned into.
So, DaVo, let's talk about, have you ever done a septral or ever had a request for one?
No, and that's the thing about it. It's like, what is it, the nosling? That's the other one, right?
Yeah,
Noslin. That's kind of the West Coast, I guess. I wonder if that's how they pronounce it in California. Sorry. I had a friend when I was younger that was from LA area, and everything was drawn out. So that's where I get that thing from. No, I never get requested for stuff like that.
It's pretty rare. And for those of you who don't know, you have to have a stretched septum. Generally, I tell people it has to be a minimum of a 2 gauge because you're going to want to put a receiving tube in there. And what you do is you pierce from the tip of the nose directly in there, and then you put a labret in there so you just have a single gem on the tip of your nose. Probably one of the rarest piercings I've ever got a chance to do. I've done one, and I think I have someone requesting me to do another one on soon. So
rhinos, I've probably done 2 in my whole career.
I think I've done one.
And the first one was before it even had a name.
Yeah. Yep.
It was just like, okay, I want to try this, and I used to be, there are some times where I did some surface to surface stuff, and this is a long, long time ago.
Well, you used to be young. Me too. And we used to be way more aggressive. It was the wild, wild west back then. Now it's just the Wild West, not the wild, wild west.
I think the last one I did was this guy wanted a high pubic. And we tried it with flat, which pubics are hard enough to heal out in the first place.
Horizontal or vertical?
Vertical.
Okay.
And we tried it with curved barbell, and of course that didn't work. And then we tried it with they just came out with the staples, and that lasted about 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that's probably that's got to be before 99. So yeah, so I want to say that's when I first started seeing the staples. So they weren't even the flat-sided ones; they were just a bar bent that way, if I remember correctly. Yep. Any more Scotty?
Comments?
Quite a few. Newt says, that's cool. I appreciate that. I've gotten pierced with jewelry from the same shop, and they'll bulk sterilize them for me. I have a bunch of curved barbells from downsizing. Haha.
We all have a jar of jewelry somewhere at home.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a tackle box full of jewelry.
Yes.
I like to line mine up on dressers,
Oh, does it make you feel like really evil and
I don't know. I
feel
just
like it would make
noticed
you
that I had a
evil
bunch
and
of
clinical.
I had a bunch of old implant grade steel cat bead rings in various gauges from like 8 all the way up to I think 2 gauge was the biggest one. Boy, that was fun to take in and out.
Yeah.
And I think it was even in yield and it was still a struggle.
But I mean, at a 2-gauge, you're not bending a annealed or non-annealed piece of jewelry. Not
You're
happening.
just getting it out far enough to try to force that thing in there, the ball and socket. Anyway, any other ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Newt again says, I got too much while getting pierced, and I think of the dumbest things to say, so I'll hold off on what I want to say until we reach a break. I get multiple piercings done in each session, they say with the parentheses?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm getting tired. It's past my bedtime.
I know. The sun's down and everything.
I know.
I can't wait for the sun to go down so it cools off here.
Yeah, it actually was pretty hot here, and then it finally cooled down.
Yeah, I touched my light up there. I was going to see how hot it was. And I touched the plastic and realized I shouldn't be touching that. That's why it shut down. It got hot. Yeah.
Yeah, is it the kind that has the fan that kicks on?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to change my setting on my camera if anybody noticed because it was already starting to overheat on my Canon if it stays on for too long. And yeah.
It's pretty nice in here.
Yeah, I know. And I got a fan blowing at my back. That's the only thing that's keeping me going here without sweating. Anyway, now that everybody knows what the temperature of the room is.
Yes.
Let's see. I can do this one. At XSEF1V, and then there's just a splash. I don't know what that is. Hey, teenager, what does that emoji mean?
It's a hand-waving emoji, and it's not IV, it's TV.
TV? Okay. And then the next one, Mark Foster, 3119. I'm thinking about getting a PA. Does it bleed as bad as I think it would?
I don't know how much you're thinking, but yeah, it does bleed.
Especially that first night.
Yeah.
Puppy pads, good idea. Old sheets, old comforter, whatever, old underwear, whatever you're going to wear to bed.
Personally, what I do for people is I will take like a 4x4 piece of gauze and I wrap it around to capture some of the blood, and then I'll double glove up on one hand. So when I hold, I can pull the glove over the top of it so it didn't touch any of my skin, and then use a light rubber band around the base. Not tight enough to cut off the blood supply. I don't want to go into that, but that should capture a lot of the excess bleeding. I tell people you need to be changing this glove and the dressing on the inside every time you urinate, but don't be surprised if you fill up 2 to maybe even 3 fingers worth of blood. You bleed more than you expect. And right when you get to the point where like, is this normal? You're generally about done.
And the first time you pee, there'll be a giant blood clot that comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah. So have you ever?
You're gonna bleed.
I've been using, the glove wrapping thing. Have you ever snapped anybody?
No.
I've been paranoid for 30 plus years
too.
that I was going to and never have yet.
But you can't just take a glove and just put it over the top. You literally have to kind of peel it around. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but yeah,
So
that's
good
what
luck
I always
if-
tell people.
Good luck if you get it done. And the other thing is, don't get it done and then go to work. Have some
Or go
time off.
swimming. Yeah.
Or go swimming. Yeah,
Or
not a
get
good idea.
sexually active that night.
Yes. Don't
Or
do it
go
on
like
balance.
Things.
Long motorcycle ride. That's really fun.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah.
a client do that one time. Goodness gracious.
So is there any more of there, Scotty?
Oh yeah. XSEF TV says, I'm a 47 male and I recently got my labret, both nipples, and helix pierced. Midlife crisis maybe. LOL.
No, it's not a midlife crisis. You're just living your life, getting what you want to get done. I mean, if you can get away with it and it makes you happy, ultimately that's all what it's about. If you're happy, yeah.
And a lot of that is just getting to a point in your life when you can do it. Because
Yes.
I've had a lot of clients over the years, like, I'm vested. They can't get rid of me. I don't have to worry about promotions because I'm not going to go any further in this company.
Yep.
I'm ready to leave anytime they want me to, and it's just that point in my life. Or the kids are out of the house or what have you.
Or I became the manager and I make the rules, so I say we can have piercings.
Exactly. It's just that timing is timing, regardless of it's when you're in your teens or when you're in your 80s.
I will say this, though. When you start getting a little bit older like that, it is tougher to heal piercings up. So sometimes getting like 4 or 5 in one sitting might be a little excessive, and you're going to have a rougher healing process, and it might be worth bringing it down to like maybe 2 to 3 piercings per session. Did they say they got 5? It would sound like 5, right?
It was only 4. It's the Libre, nipples, and then the helix.
Yeah, but those nipples and helix, those are long healers.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
that's a
commitment. I'm not saying don't do it. Just keep that in mind. And also, you could take like vitamin supplements to boost up your immune system to help heal it up. Zinc supplements for guys. I think 60 milligrams a day is what they say for guys. Like 120 milligrams for women. No, it's vice versa. 120 for guys, 60 for women.
Yeah, that's something I took out.
Look it up. No, I'm not a doctor. Look it up. But yeah,
I took out of the aftercare instructions. They used to suggest what was emergency brand and zinc. That was the big
vitamin
two.
C and zinc. Those are the 2 that you really want to help speed up the healing process. But the biggest thing is keep your dirty hands off of it.
Leave it the effing alone.
Yes.
Stop picking at it. It's not a spinner. Find somebody else to occupy your mouth and your hands. Yeah.
All right, next question.
Oh, it's really quick about the zinc. It's 11 milligrams per day for men, and then 8 milligrams a day for women. Okay. So you were way off.
I was way off. That was
You're trying to like kill someone.
It's like 20 minutes. No, I hope not. No, but that was like old. That's 20-year-old information. So yeah.
And you just produce really expensive urine.
Well, I'm also curious. What were they saying? Was that what the bottle on multivitamin says? Because I think if you got just a regular zinc supplement, it's going to be a bigger dosage. But when you have multivitamins, that might be broken down. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that could be a factor too.
The daily is suggested amount, or is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the suggested amount, and then the maximum amount you can have per day is 40 milligrams.
Okay, so 20 would be.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like the minimum amount of zinc you have to get in your diet. So like one fish,
I'm a maximum
you're good.
strength guy. I always take maximum strength.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah. America.
If we got it, why not take it?
Yeah, America. It's bigger, better, stronger.
And then the last comment, we're down to the last comment, is Newt saying goodnight to Scott and DaVo and Scott E. And they said, thank you for the cool stream, and a cute little like character emoji thing.
Thank you, Newt. Good night to you. Hope you sleep well.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll catch you on the next live stream then.
Yes, we do. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for joining. I'm always amazed when people do. And it would be a little boring if we were just talking to ourselves. This is the second stream I've done this week.
Yeah.
So if I feel a little under the weather, that's why. Jack wasn't feeling well, so I had to do the tattoo one on Friday. So
gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know if I gave up my gold there.
And then it was Jack's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah. I think I'm actually going to be starting another YouTube channel.
Okay.
Really?
Starting it tonight, and I'm picked up a new habit for growing tobacco. And I know nothing about it, so it's going to be a reverse channel. So I'm just going to be like a little vlog thing and just see what happens, called Growing Tobacco with Scott. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Might be a complete train wreck, but yeah, I'm probably going to be talking to myself or like 3 other people. Who else likes growing tobacco? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you got to have hobbies. That's a part that I think it's.
Uh-oh. Are you guys still there? We have froze up.
I'm here. I think.
There, I see you now. Okay.
Yeah. I hear him talking in the other room.
Still froze up.
Yeah. On my back.
Hello, DaVo.
Yeah, it's. I think I might be on the Skin Kitchens, and you're on the Axiom one. It's the internet.
Let me gander.
Who knows? I know you're on the Axiom one. I may be on the other one.
Yeah, but you're right.
I'm
We
on
do
the
all have
knows?
to have
Are
hobbies,
you-
and we don't
now
just
you're-
stick to like piercing's not everything in our life. Just like car people have other hobbies too, and you know.
Yeah, and I have a personal channel. I just never post to it anymore.
It's
my first time. I'm gonna give it a shot.
I used to
What
do
was
like
it?
a vlogs, and then I had bike rides on there where I even put the 3D stuff on there. I did cooking once. Made
In
my
his pajama
Cajun.
pants.
Yeah, my
You're a good cook, aren't you?
yeah. I was referred to as being a snob earlier for that reason.
Oh yeah. I was being a little
love
mean to
good food,
him.
though.
Yeah, I like to cook. It's something I've always had a passion for, mainly because I think I never did I kind of did it professionally, but not in a professional level. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've been a prep cook kind of situation, a pizza joint, but I've never like been, chef or really had to work, because those people work. You really have to have a passion for that job.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have a kind of a sophisticated palate, and I'm a bit picky and critical, I
Yeah.
guess is a good word for it. And
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it
mean-
over? It was over something stupid. It was over you going that chocolate chips belong in banana bread. That's what it was
I
over.
Firmly believe that chocolate chips belong in banana bread.
I'm with you, Scott. 100%.
Thank you.
It belongs
I
in there,
put-
DaVo.
Nah,
Go back to school for cooking. Chocolate chips belong in banana bread.
I don't like chocolate chips. I think the chocolate's not that good.
More for us. Then,
I do
Scott.
dark
Yeah.
chocolate. I do
Yeah.
like dark chocolate in it because I love dark chocolate and I think it tastes the best.
Because you like the dark side.
I cut my emo bangs off. I can't do
I
that
noticed.
anymore.
Yeah, she came in Thursday with clown hair.
Oh yeah.
And I say that in a
I feel
very
like it should
positive
be.
way.
I feel like I should be like an underground like pop artist with my
Yeah.
hair.
What, like K-pop?
No.
Then
just
you'd
like
have to
those
learn.
people
Then you'd
in-
have to do other dances other than the three you know now.
Oh, my baby dance. Because all babies dance the same.
It's something to behold. Yes,
Exactly. Exactly.
and she never moves her feet
No.
when the 3 or 4 dance steps she knows. They're not
Mm-hmm.
really steps; they're more upper body thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
I have a
interesting.
question for you too. Do you have, when you first got into the industry, any influences or like icons or heroes in the industry? Like for me, it was all about Fakir. Did you guys have anyone specific too, or?
You go first, Scott.
A little embarrassing. It was actually you, Scott.
Serious?
Yeah. I watched a lot of your videos. I didn't watch many of DaVo's videos, if any, because I thought he was just kind of annoying.
Little did you know.
Well, I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you.
And you have this like way that you engage in videos that makes it like really interesting to talk about and like listen to. And then a little bit I watched a lot of Rolly because I liked hearing about like the bad stuff about piercing, because it's
Yes.
like, oh well, I know not to do that, you know.
Plus,
But yeah.
I'd watch him. If he was talking about motorcycles, he's
Oh, yeah.
he's got that personality.
He does. He does. Rolly's the best non-piercer influencer in our industry, in my opinion.
Who
Yeah.
generally tries to find good information.
He's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. So, yeah.
Yep.
What
Who
about
else?
you, DaVo?
When I started, probably Jim Ward, Fakur. Modern Primitive was, and PFIQ was a huge influence, and so was
Yeah.
Body Play. Fakur, the spiritual side of it was not really, I was interested in it, but it was not really something I was looking for. After growing up in the church that I did, I was ready to get as far away from spiritualism in any way, shape, or form for my own personal reasons.
Yeah.
But the idea, like when I first got into it, was kind of I don't know how to explain it. I guess we had gotten to a point where we had settled all the land. Everything is known. We've been to every corner of the earth, not the ocean, of course. And I can't swim, so I'm not going there. The idea of exploring your body really fascinated me.
Okay.
This idea of inner physical, in I guess spiritual to a degree, mental, etc., exploration of what you can do with your body. And I got a lot of that from Fakur. Plus, I'd already seen some of his stuff because I was really into Betty Page at one point, like before she became. It's funny. As soon as she became famous and everybody was talking about her, and especially when they finally found her, I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
But, and for me, it was more, the idea of all these things that are kind of taboo and were pushed out of the mainstream actually existed during these periods of time. There was a subculture that was doing all of this. Has always been very fascinating to me.
Yeah.
So I was already digging through like the Bizarre magazine and all that stuff before I even kind of stumbled upon those guys. And I think I found Fakur through that. Like somebody made a reference to it somewhere.
Well, that whole subculture thing, he's all over it. So.
Because if I remember correctly, he submitted to that back in like the 50s.
Yeah, he did. He was all over everything. For me, another thing was National Geographic magazine. When I was really, really little, my grandparents used to give me a subscription to National Geographic. So every month I was getting the magazine in the mail. And I didn't know I was into that stuff, but you're seeing some of these, like the neck stretching and like the people deployed, the tribal people. I always found it fascinating, but I never, ever, ever thought I would be tied in with that type of a thing. So I was exposed to it at a young age, but I didn't know it was my thing until after I got my first piercing. And then,
go ahead.
Yeah. And I was like, the other influencers, like, have you ever heard of John Cobb?
Yeah, of course. I remember John Cobb. That was the first time I really started to begin to understand how you would really use tools additionally than just putting stuff in things. I mean, his whole, I remember when he came out and was doing all this stuff that was really pushing the boundary.
Uvula piercings, the back of that little punch. Yeah, it was crazy.
And that was a PFIQ.
Yeah.
That interview was in. Yeah.
And he also kind of got all the freehand techniques, because I think the gauntlet back in the day, everything was clamped and everything. And John Cobb was like the first rock star of the gauntlet. And he was like, everything he did is like, God gave me my best tools in my hands, and if I can't do it with my hands, I shouldn't do it, and da-da-da-da. And I remember reading these, I was like, man, this guy is like off the hook. He does so many crazy things. So he was an influence on the aspect that I'm the experimental of being safe. You know, like these are the rules, but you can venture out a little tiny bit and still do your thing. So he was the first one that kind of did that for me. But Fakir, John Cobb, Dakota too.
Yeah, mainly because of the exploration or exploring, doing all these different ear piercings. Before that, it was like, we do, I don't even think the industrial had even been invented at that point. It might have been. But it was called something else. Scaffold. That's the first time.
So it looks like the scaffolding on the house where it goes side to side. So, yeah.
Funny how those names change, huh?
Yeah.
It's all marketing. But yeah, just seeing somebody do things like Dave piercings or Daft piercings, depending on who you heard it from first, and Rook piercings, those were all really weird and new when they came out. Even a trachea piercing, it was somewhat established, but not at that level. So yeah.
Yeah. It was so experimental, and just like these people just came up with these ideas. It just blew my mind. It was like, it was bizarre. And another thing is, we were talking a lot this year about at APP, a lot of people were talking about generations. And I don't know if we ever got any solid answer, but I was like, what generation piercer am I? I think I came down to the third generation, if I remember right, because the first generation, you get Jim Ward, Fakir, 1975 to probably 1980, 82. And I don't know how you decipher generations too, you know?
So is Elaine Angel part of that, or is she part of what came after? I
think she's first generation, because that was Jim Ward's first apprentice.
That's what I
mean.
She
was the first manager at the Gauntlet. So I think she's first generation. I think she's at the end of the first generation. I think. Well, no, if she was apprentice, she wasn't her OG. I don't know. But that's like, where are we? Am I third generation, fourth, fifth generation? Am I I don't know. But 75, and I started piercing in 1994. So that's a couple generations at least.
Well, I mean, and are we third or fourth generation? Because the person that trained me, obviously learned from videotapes and magazines that were produced by the first generation. So is he second generation? Yeah, it's an interesting discussion.
And I think they also say what defines generations, like the different, like the tools we use, the jewelry we use.
Yeah.
Is it just from apprentice to teacher to apprentice to teacher to apprentice? There's different ways to look at it, but I think it's almost like the technologies where laws kicked in. Now it's mainstream, and like you can almost map it out by the big changes in life. So, but I thought that was really interesting. That was one of the big discussions that I kept talking about with people at APP this year.
I think the first time I saw a navel piercing was probably 91 or 92. And it was somebody I know that went to LA and got it done at the Gauntlet. So, but I don't remember anybody having it out there seeking to have it done here until 94, 95. After that's when it really hit mainstream. Plus, you just have that uprising in the 90s, that perfect storm of all that alternative culture that had been just festering below the mainstream this whole time, just explode.
Yeah.
So musically, culturally, I mean, Jim Rose and all that stuff, and the Torture King, and just all these things that have been going on for a long time. Suddenly, hey, this is what we are now.
And get this is pretty crazy. Do you know who Mr. Sebastian is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he's the European version of the Gauntlet, and he was actually before the Gauntlet. And my last live stream, I had a guy from the UK who came in and said he actually was pierced by Mr. Sebastian. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool to think that that generation's still here and we still have all the OGs. I mean, Mr. Sebastian passed away many years ago, but that's...
And he was that's why we kind of have a difference in technique from what happened in England to what happened in the U.S. with the different types of needles used and insertion and et cetera, is because there was kind of two separate things going on at the same time.
With no internet to link us together.
Maybe I'm sure he eventually saw PFIQ, and I'm sure they interacted in some way, shape, or form. Because there's a guy that invented the barbell, but he was from Germany or something. I remember hearing the story or reading it somewhere years ago.
Yeah.
And that the first ones originally were all internally threaded.
Well, I mean, if you go back to internally threaded, all the original, you go hundreds of years, and all the India jewelry from India, all of that was internally threaded. So we didn't invent internally threaded. It's
No. Have you ever had the experience of putting on one of those made in India? It's like turn. I swear it took me 45 minutes to get this one on once.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's just they do not mess around. That thing takes forever.
Once a year, you have to check your threadings.
Not weekly, just once a year. You're good for a lifetime almost. But they're also a lot more expensive. They use a lot more gold in most cases. Sometimes I've seen the crap too. So,
Well, I mean, that's how the Gauntlet all started. They did a lot of gold rings because gold was easy to work with, and it was a nice little clasp. And most of the piercings were nipples. They were doing 18, 20-gauge nipples, I think, back in the day. But that was just kind of the standard. So.
Because I feel like each generation is where a standardization of something happened.
I think so. I think that's how I would kind of a major thing, almost like when Alicia Silverstone and the Aerosmith got her navel pierced. That changed everything from that point. So that's probably a start of a next generation.
And there's also the generation that everything was done in rings. And then the generation where everything, is done with more modern jewelry. Then there's the, threadless, and then the just revolution that's happened once that got opened up of all these different ends being universally interchangeable, which has totally changed the industry and has allowed, a lot more innovation on design and et cetera, and the wide use of titanium. One of the things I will say about Cobb that fascinated me from that interview was he talked about how he practiced to do that piercing, and he took a Dixie cup.
The uvula?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dixie cup and put it on a bulletin board, and then put an eraser inside there, and spent a month and a half or whatever length of time learning how to pierce in that much of a confined area.
Mad respect.
And that's where he came up with some of those techniques of using the force or using hemostats to do piercings.
That makes perfect sense. If you can do it inside a Dixie cup on an eraser that you can get,
yeah,
that's awesome.
You know, and the cool thing about him is he actually tried out this stuff before trying it on a human. And and that's the big problem. I think a lot of, like, especially new piercers that are just kind of out there on their own doing whatever they want to do, is they don't really take the time to study exactly what they're doing.
Right. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but didn't John Cobb pierce his own uvula too?
Mm-hmm. I think that was the one that made the magazine.
Yeah, it's like, that's next level crazy. Yeah.
Having that gag reflex.
Jeez. I just can't imagine.
And trying to do anything in a mirror.
Well, you can't see anything because your hand's in front of this and you're doing completely blindly. And I don't feel like there's a lot of nerves in your uvula, so you can't feel if it's right or not. How many times did he do it till he got it right? That's the question I have.
That, and the thing that always fascinated me about it is how the hell did he get that bead on?
Yeah.
Because it was done with a captive bead ring.
Was it a captive bead ring or a fixed bead ring?
It might have been fixed bead, but I could have sworn it had
fixed
one of the
bead would make more sense. So if you pierce like a larger gauge and then it went inside there and then you just go in the hemostats and close it up.
Yeah. I was trying to explain to somebody the other day why nostril piercings used to get a lot bloodier, and I'm like, it's because everybody was using a slightly oversized piece or needle to get that damn ring in there at the end.
Yeah.
And that caused more trauma, more bleeding, longer healing time. It's like, we don't have to do that stuff anymore. You kids today, Scotty, you don't know how easy you have it.
You don't even know.
I should just have a whole day of $10 piercings where they're all done with captive bead rings and make you work the whole shift. Next time you complain about anything.
So, like, we have a ton of tools these days. But I remember back in the day when I first started working at St. Sabrina's, there was this shop. It was like an hour away. It was in Big Lake, Minnesota. And it was like a medical garage sale where they had all these used things. And I remember going in there, and then there was this rack of all the different medical forceps and clamps and hemostats. And I remember buying one of each of them and trying to figure out how I could use that and could this make my job easier. So I was like a mad scientist. You open my drawer and there's every hemostat in the world. Like, what would you use that for? I'm like, I don't know, but I have it if I need it, you know?
Yeah. I just remember, it's one of the things I've always wondered about is who was the first one that found a set of Pennington forceps and went, wow, this will fix everything.
Yeah.
Because there had to have been one of them that did it. Because before that, I don't know how exactly they were clamping or what they were using.
And most probably all receiving tubes, and it wasn't even receiving tubes. They were like McDonald's drinking straws or something like that. So, yeah.
Yep.
I'm not even joking. It was a drinking straw. That's how we used to do PAs. I can't imagine a drinking straw down the urethra, and it's like, oh, that's going to protect from the needle going through there? Like, what are you? Well, I don't get it. I don't get it.
And and then I remember watching the video where the guy did it with nothing. Pushing it ever so slowly through and then kind of peeling back the top of the urethra and then guiding it
steady.
And the last time I saw it, it might have been the guy from Silver Anchor that did the video.
Okay.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't released all that stuff, but I don't know if there's a market out there.
It's really hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah. We covered a lot tonight.
Yeah, we really did.
Are we all caught up on the, okay.
Yep, we're pretty caught up on the chats.
I think we're running out of people that are like, yeah, man, dude, you're talking forever. Sarah Ward said, bedtime for me, it's 3:45 a.m. Well, sleep well. I'm guessing you're...
Good night, Sarah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you're in Europe somewhere. And then that's about it. So you guys... Are you going to be streaming every 2 weeks now? Or have you guys figured that out yet?
You know what? I was looking at the stats on the video I put up today, and I don't know why, but I had negative subscribers from it. And I know the watch time can affect how the channel gets boosted. So I'm going to kind of see how the numbers work. I might go back to once a month. I would love to do it twice a month, but I might go to once a month if it's going to hurt my channel. because people want the shorter form content, and I think less longer form might be better.
I've just gotten to the point where it's just like, if I want to do it, I'm doing it, and I'm going to do a lot of it. But we've always been different. Mine, I mean, if you look at the channels, like I don't even know how many videos you have on yours, but if you look at mine, it's over 2,000.
Yeah, I have like 300 some.
Yeah, and I like to put them out at consistent times every week.
Yes,
and I know they're punishing people for doing that, but also I notice that like my long-term viewers, they prefer that because then they have something to look forward to every day of the week or every couple times.
I definitely have my solid crew who wants more the more the better. But but I guess my ultimate goal for my channel right now is I want to grow this big enough where I can rent an extra place where I have all my camera equipment and it's in a separate business. Yeah. It doesn't need to be big, but I want to move out of my house and I want to have my master bedroom back and I want to be able to, because the room is so tiny, and if I could move things back, I could have different settings and different scenarios, and I just want it to grow. I mean, I'm not in it for the money, but I want a little bit more than what I have right now.
Mm-hmm. I want a Canon R5.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's
so greedy, DaVo. Oh my goodness.
I know, heaven forbid. Oh, and a new autoclave, because I want to get one of the ones like you have, the smaller.
The MBIOs, they're so cool. I love them.
I've looked at them.
I've been saying MBO forever, but I think went to the convention. Everyone's like, "Yeah, the MBIOs are great." I'm like, that does make sense. I've been saying that wrong the whole time. So.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They just seem like a much better. It always seemed weird because I have the larger version of the Statum or Satum.
The Statum, yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's so much space in there
the
when you're
trays,
like doing
the gaskets. There are always problems.
You're doing one
easier.
tiny little piece, and it's like, I got this big tray.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not careful putting it on, it bends, and you got to get in there with a vice grip and try to rebend that thing back. And I don't know. It's. When they work great, they're amazing, but I think the NBIO is a better version. It's stronger, more secure, and less maintenance.
Yeah, and that's where, and I'm tired of spending that much money for a seal that's going to go bad in 6 months.
Correct.
It's ridiculous. And they bug the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's... Anyway, do you have anything you want to push right now? Because we're going to
I don't think so. Just
up.
like, hey, if you haven't subscribed or checked out my channel, it's Piercing with Scott. I'm trying to put out 1 to 2 videos minimum every week. But as you can see, I'm doing a live chat too, maybe twice a month for a while. Might go back to once, I don't really even know. But if you guys want anything, just leave comments, let us know what you want, and we'll try to give it to you, because that's what DaVo and I are here for. This is about knowledge, education, and to give you the best experience possible. And I love the fact that I can collaborate with someone else like DaVo, and it's just like, there's not a lot of us out there who are really as passionate as Ryan Ouellette. One of these days, maybe we'll get Ryan Ouellette on the channel or something too, because he has his Piercing Wizard podcast. And if you're a piercer, you should be subscribed to him too, because that dude has serious knowledge. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yep. And that's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of the internet, is sharing knowledge, not looking at porn.
I was like, in the beginning it was all porn, but yeah, now it's knowledge.
What's the first thing
We've
I
all
can
grown
search?
up a little bit.
Yes. Other than that, we're posting videos on a regular basis. We do this every every Sunday at 8 p.m. It's usually me and Scotty. I do have some other guests maybe coming on in the future. If you want to talk about tattooing, check out the thing that the guys do on Friday called Tattoo Fridays Live. They'll usually they talk about tattooing at some point. Some point they do.
They'll talk about aliens, and then they'll talk about tattooing.
So, and they're willing and happy to talk about what have you. Also, I put up videos on a regular basis. Check those out. I'm not going to go through the list that happened this week. Scotty got a new video. It's coming out tomorrow about her.
Is it?
Cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's her vertical labrae.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very exciting. The entire internet will get to see me being a baby. It's awesome.
For like 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds. And also me have like purple hair, and completely forgot I had purple hair around that time.
It's because it changes so often.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I wish I had hair to change the color of.
I did. I did a lot of times, and I think that's why I don't have any now.
Yeah.
But did you want to do the outro there, Scotty, or do I get to do it?
You get to do it this time. I'll let you have this one.
Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, Scotty and I would love to see you. If you're in Las Vegas, definitely go see Scott at Piercing Vegas. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching.
We love y'all. Hit the like and subscribe. See y'all in the next video.
There's always that weird thing where it...
The last second.
Yeah.
Are we done yet? Are we done yet?